Welcome everyone to a night on the DL. We're doing a Cromwell side story. So session 32.5 is what we're gonna call this one. Um, yeah. So no, you still have 20 HP, my dude. You have not reset your HP yet.
Boo.
So last time that we all heard from Cromwell, he was in the Sacred Stone Monastery, working with the crew as they went there during their festivities. Realized, oh fuck, there's a lot of fucking people here. We're gonna die if we just kind of keep up this onslaught. And then during that, after a respite of some combat, he gets a message in his head from Sylas saying, "Hey, we're pulling you back from this mission you're on right now, and you're coming with us for a little bit. Bane's got another task for you before you, as like an interlude thing before we send you back to your group." So as he's kind of fading away into the gray, he hands over a note and symbol to Ulrich and disappears. And so he fades into gray. And so that's where we're jumping in right now. So you fade into gray back into this this tavern, not tavern, an inn where there's 4 beds, and you kind of appear next to this table, and across from you sit Sylas and Clyde. And as you kind of look out the window, you notice now it's like maybe 8 o'clock, like the sun has risen, and when you remember, is the sun was still had not risen yet when you were fighting in the Sacred Stone Monastery.
Okay. And 8 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yes, yeah, 8 a.m.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So yes, you kind of just appear, your feet materialize and kind of like solidify onto the ground, and you just hear Sylas from the back say, "Ah, yes, welcome, Cromwell."
I don't know if I'll ever get used to that.
Well, that's something that we'll find out in the future as things go. Yeah, so Clyde and I had some talks, and it seems that we have some new information and something that our good Lord Bane desires that we make right in the world. So yeah, I'll let Clyde kind of handle this. He's our intermediary with Bane, we'll call him. And as you kind of look over to Clyde, you see he's still kind of decked out in his really strong plate mail. He has a new shield now, and his warhammer is still kind of like sitting on his belt, but you feel like a different aura about him. You still feel like very strong paladin energy coming from him, but you also feel a something else. There's some kind of other energy kind of coursing through him that you've never felt before from him, and he's like, "Ah, yes, Cromwell." So a couple things. We have new information regarding what happened to you, and what happened to me, and what happened to my brother. Is this a good time? He's kind of looking you over, and you have like bruises and like some like slash marks all over you. Do you need to rest, or is this a good time for you?
I mean, some rest would be nice. I was literally in the middle of a fight, and you pulled me away from my group. So I really hope it is urgent.
Oh no, you will enjoy this, I think. Yes, all right. How about this? How about you go ahead and you take a rest, and we'll wake you up in a few hours. You look battered and bruised. So yeah, so you go ahead and take that rest, and then we will come back for you in a few hours.
Sounds good.
You can sleep in either of the 2 beds behind you. Those have been rotating positions for our crew.
This bed looks more readily made.
Sure. So yeah, so the 2 of them just kind of like watch you, kind of take your pack off and kind of undress your armor and all of that stuff. And as you go soundly asleep, you feel as you're dreaming, usually you don't have dreams. Typically, they're nightmares. If you have anything, it's a lot of PTSD, a lot of flashbacks to the night where you were fighting. And this is going to be one of those nights. But for some reason, this dream is now a bit clearer. And as you're kind of fighting the onslaught that's kind of taking over your squadron, um, you remember cutting down an opponent and their badge. Um, their badge looked funny. You never got to take it up and inspect it just in the heat of the moment, but you recognize that their badge, where all of the Mirabar army, different squadrons and different brigades, and all of their groups had different symbols and insignias as pendants on their chest. For the different squadron, you had like an eagle squad, a bear squad, a tiger squad, etc., etc. This one had the insignia of a bear, but it didn't look quite right, and you're kind of remembering this now as you're kind of like swimming through this dream, and you're not, for the first time, you're not in your body when you're having this nightmare. You're kind of like watching yourself like from in a third person kind of view, and that's what kind of catches your eye about that. The pendant looks kind of weird. You wouldn't have necessarily caught it when you're just fighting in the heat of battle, but getting this kind of like third person bird's eye view of what's happening to you kind of solidifies like something's off about that insignia. And from there, you wake up. You look outside. The sun is starting to set, and it seems like Cromwell and Sylas and Clyde let you kind of sleep, get a full 8 hours rest, so you can, bump up your HP and all your spell slots and all that jazz. Nice. And any other kind of like long rest abilities that you need to get back, you have that back now. And when you come to, you see that they're both kind of sitting in the same spot. They're both talking. They seem to be strategizing for your guys' I guess next mission is what you can tell. And as you kind of like get up and start kind of shaking off and like kind of stretching a little bit, Sylas says, Cromwell, yes, good afternoon. Oh, almost evening now. We saw that you really needed to sleep, so we wanted to give you that opportunity. And as you kind of look over Sylas again, you notice that the red amulet that he had around his chest the last time you saw him is no longer there.
I'm just gonna comment and just be honest with Sylas and be like, "Hey, I noticed your red amulet's gone. What happened to it?"
Yes, that gift I thought I had received. So everything it does tie together with why you're here, for what it's worth, and I'll let Clyde kind of handle that, but I'll give you a short kind of synopsis on that. I was tricked into wearing it, and it caused me to do some things that I wouldn't have done under regular circumstances.
Make my friend disappear?
Yes, that wouldn't have happened under normal circumstances. It seemed that pendant caused my emotions to run wild and rampant when I saw something that and he kind of says in quotes, desired, which was kind of taking me from the path that I was looking to go to. It was like, kind of leading me off into side treks to delay me from kind of continuing on the path forward. So yes, that was unfortunate, but it won't be happening again, for what it's worth.
Who tricked you into wearing this?
And upon you saying that, you see Clyde, and the aura in the room just gets very dark. Like you feel this pressure, kind of like on your shoulders that you felt before when you've seen kind of Clyde and Sylas get serious when they fight. It's just this ominous aura that Clyde just exudes out from him when he's very serious about something or very upset. He says, "Yes, about that. Let's come here and take a seat." And you see a chair. You see kind of Sylas snap his fingers and a chair appears. He's like, "Yeah, please take a seat." So we found some disturbing information, and let's just say Bane isn't happy with the way things are playing out, kind of around this area of the continent. So Mirabar, where you and I both served, needless to say, let's just say there's rampant. How do I say this properly? And he kind of sits there and like thinks for a moment. Rampant corruption. So that also actually brings me to a question to you. How much do you trust this Ulrich?
He's pretty much one of the only ones I would trust in my life.
Well, we might have to re-examine that as I kind of continue on my story. It seems that the dwarves that got higher in ranks were let in on this little secret, as they like to call them. So as you know, the dwarven military has a very strict hierarchy, and you becoming a squad captain is very difficult for a non-dwarf, as you probably remember. For me, it was much worse back in my day. But anyways, I don't need to digress into that. However, what we've noticed a pattern of is anytime that a non-dwarven person or non-dwarven race ends up, getting to squad captain or, captain of the brigade or anything higher than that, something befalls them, some disaster, and not necessarily that their squadron dies like what happened to you and my brigade dies in front of me, but something that causes them to lose their rank, right? Whether it is a, disqualification for service or some kind of unhonorable discharge that kind of puts a stain on their record. We found that it's rampant. It's not even just in Mirabar, it's in the other two dwarven strongholds as well. And it's very interesting that it's only happening on a regular basis to non-dwarves, is what our intelligence has kind of gathered for us. I guess what this leads us to is we're trying to find out why. Who's pulling the strings? What sort of creature could be causing this kind of disharmony that the world had finally come to after the wars of the necromancers? We're still trying to find out, but we think we have a lead to get us more information on who or what organization or whatever it is kind of behind this tragedy that's befalling everyone. So that's why we called you back. We heard rumors that there is a young black dragon that has information for us about what's happening throughout the dwarven strongholds, and we're not quite sure how a young black dragon has this information, but our sources seem to be very, very strong in their convictions that he knows something. A couple of things. I should probably show you where we are, as he kind of like unfurls a map, and I'll bring you to the world map real quick. Just kind of show you where you're currently at. Let me know when it pops up on your screen.
I see it, but it's a little blurry. Oh, there we go.
Cool. So we're currently in the town of Sycamber. Um, as he kind of points to it on the map. Um, we're going to the High Moor, which you'll see, as you kind of scroll down, he kind of like points down closer on the map. That's just it's south of us. We're going southeast of here, and we're trying to get to roughly this area. This is supposedly where this young black dragon is currently residing. However, as he kind of chuckles, we are going through like swamp and marshland, so civilization ends as soon as we leave Sycamber. There are bandits. We've heard of armies fighting in here, and now that there are dead skeletons and other kind of zombie type creatures roaming about, and all kinds of madness occurring in this area. And we've heard that this young black dragon has secured, we'll call it an alliance, with some trolls that are patrolling the area, and they bring him food, and he provides them with his protection, as he likes to call it. But he's a young dragon. He's not an adult, fully grown adult dragon or an ancient dragon that we should fear. At our current strength, we should be able to defeat him, and it should not be too much of a problem. However, it is getting to that location that will take us some time, and why we called you back, in order for us to kind of make our lives a little bit easier getting to him. And then obviously this will be an excellent experience for you to combat this dragon with us.
Sounds good to me, but I'm really not sure how much I can help you guys out with how our strength differences compare.
Oh, no. See, this is where I will explain to you how to become a better paladin. As he kind of like looks over to you, and he kind of explains that as you've broken your oath to your previous god, I've been saying it's Lathander, we can change that if we need to be Bane. You now have a level of control over undead, and with Sylas's kind of specialization now being in necromancy, he's going to summon 2 undead for you to control, and you to kind of like lead and have them do orders. Like, so you would like tell, X skeleton, hey, attack this thing, take the skeleton, attack this thing. And this will help you grow your paladin powers with Bane. And that's another reason why I've called you back, so I could help foster this growth. I've seen you've gotten a little bit stronger, but you haven't quite made that breakthrough to get to the next tier.
Sounds good to me. Not even know I can control more than 1 undead at a time.
You can only control 1. However, Sylas has a little something up his sleeve to give you control over both at once.
Sounds like a plan to me. How exactly did this young dragon come across an alliance with the giants in the area?
He looks a little confused. He's like, what giants do you speak of?
Oh, sorry, I meant trolls.
He's like, oh yes, the trolls were living in this swamp, and as he flew in and terrified all of them, they decided to get him food and riches from those around to keep him sated, and in return he wouldn't kill them, and if creatures beyond their, we'll say, power ever threatened them, he would swoop in and help take care of it.
Okay, so when we're saying young, we mean just like, the dragon's 100 versus 1,000.
Correct. He's powerful, but not powerful enough to pose us enough threat. Where we would require more of our allies to come to our aid. I believe you've met Garfield, one of our greatest allies in our current endeavor. We would call on him to help us fight an adult dragon and a few of our other compatriots with Bane, but in this current predicament, it's not needed, and we don't need to. As you kind of see him like debate on what to say next, expend those resources.
This makes me feel real good, I guess. Like since I'm a expendable resource.
No, that's not what I mean. It takes a lot of influence to gather them, um, because they have other tasks they're working on, and Garfield isn't even loyal to Bane. We just happen to have a friendship with him, and he likes getting favors, and those favors can be difficult to fulfill sometimes.
Sounds good. When do we head out?
Now, if possible, if you're fully rested up and you feel up to it, we can leave now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, so you guys kind of pack up. They check out of the room. You guys head out into the swamps, and it takes you guys, we'll say, the rest of the evening. When it hits dark, they kind of set up camp, set up a watch setup, and then the next day you guys are traveling for most of the day, and then as like darkness starts to fall, you find yourself in this area. And as
big ass skeletons.
yeah, so as you guys have been kind of wandering about and kind of been going through the camp, Sylas has given you this ring, and this ring gives you control over one additional undead as you exert your control over them. And Clyde has been helping you kind of maintain control and like keep getting battle tactics and all of that stuff going as you guys have been doing your walk down here. They didn't book it because they wanted to have that time to explain how this works. So you should see in your journal or did I give it to you yet? One sec, let me check. I don't think I did. No, it should be there. You should see in your journal the Minotaur skeleton.
I do not see it.
Oh, but you should be able to click on the skeleton. You should be able to move it up and down kind of accordingly. So just click on one of them and you should be able to move it.
Yeah, I can kind of. Well, it's like super laggy.
Yeah, so you can move them now. So that's what he taught you. He taught you to like how to control them and how to keep them going. Here, I will give you their character sheet as well, so that way you can have them do actions and stuff like that. So as you kind of get into the swamp and kind of get into the thick of things, Clyde and Silas say, so we are going to allow you to test out your abilities with these Minotaur skeletons to see how they fare against a round of opponents. And they kind of point to these trees here. Kind of, can you even see this one that I'm pointing to all the way at the bottom, all the way at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they point to these three trees, and as you kind of look over to like investigate what they're talking about, make a perception check for me.
Perception.
Yeah, so with that 12, you see small little creatures that look similar to like mosquito-like birds almost, from what you can tell. And as they say that, Clyde and Silas take a step back, and they kind of like, Clyde kind of like motions for you to like move them forward as we will start initiative now, or roll some initiative.
So I should do it for the skeletons and myself. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, just do the skeletons as like as one turn. Make sure to select like one of them, however you're doing it.
And here, let me see. Oh geez, this is gonna be such a struggle. This lag is insanely real. Okay. Let's see. Did that?
Boop.
Oh, that's great.
That's a 1. Good start. All right, roll your initiative. Hopefully you don't roll a 1 either. All right, cool, sweet. Okay, yeah,
Oh wait, that was for the other skeleton. I'm
That's fine.
looking at myself.
That's fine. Cool.
Okay.
Sweet. So I just want to check and see what you can see with your vision. Okay, cool. That's actually perfect. So yeah, so you see three sturges kind of on your side, and yeah, so they're up in a tree. The tree's not very tall. Like if you walked up to attack them, you could, or you could hit them with a ranged ability of some sort.
On my turn, do I have to use my action to move the skeletons?
No, that's a free action. You just tell them what you want them to do.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, otherwise that would be the worst. It would be like as bad as like Beastmaster Ranger.
Okay, so I can essentially just move myself and move my character the way I want to.
Yes, yeah, you can move yourself, do your actions you want to. Just at the end, you would just tell you tell the skeletons like what to do for their turn, and then they'll move accordingly. You move them accordingly.
Okay, that sounds good. So I then let me see here. I don't know how you do this with so many freaking things open.
So you can double click them to like make them kind of minimize almost, and then you can see your screen again.
Okay. I am just trying to find something. I'm actually going to hold my action and not move.
Okay.
Until after the skeletons get.
Okay. So what do you hold? All right. Do you want to move yourself down in the turn order then, or do you want to just prep something for like if something like as a reaction?
Yeah. I will just move myself down.
Below this first skeleton.
Below the skeleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Cool. Yeah. So you're aligned the.
I will tell.
Which is this one over here. It's this skeleton that's going first.
Okay, cool.
So you can use your free action to like kind of tell it what you want it to do, and then once the other one's turn, you can do the same thing.
Okay. Let's see. How tall is the skeleton relative to the tree? Would I be able to?
Yeah, they can definitely swing and hit these little bird-like creature things that you see up in the trees.
Okay. So I'm just gonna tell the skeleton to charge at the tree, and then also at the same time use his gore.
So the gore attack would be like, think of like a minotaur, like a bull. They like lower their head to charge forward. This tree is like eye level, so that wouldn't work.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right, so they could swing with their great axe or whatever, right? But like wouldn't be able to like. I guess they could hit the tree and like try to like break the tree down, I guess, but they wouldn't be able to like hit the bird. I'm just gonna tell
it to step up to the tree and swing its great axe.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so go ahead and move it and make the attack roll.
Then I think should be close enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah, so you pop this bird.
It's a fatty.
Yeah, you pop this bird and it just you hear it, and it goes up in a puff of like feathers and like dust and dies.
I turn around and I look at Sylas and I'm raising my eyebrows, but I can't see it. At least what I think are eyebrows.
Sure, yeah, you're not sure what's underneath the mask. You haven't seen it in a while. And he just kind of smiles and gives you like a thumbs up. Cool. Yeah, now it's your turn.
Okay, and I'm actually going to move my character like over here.
Okay.
And I think I have a javelin on me. Do I have a javelin on me? Yeah. I'm gonna throw a javelin, aiming at this bird here.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and toss that. Yeah, it's a hit. Oh wait, you do that with great weapon. So can you do that with a ranged attack?
Without.
Okay.
Just ignore.
Yeah,
ignore the
that's a hit.
-5. Yeah,
that's a hit. And then we'll ignore the
okay.
plus 10 damage.
I have to make sure to turn all this off.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Yeah, that does enough.
Ignore the dueling.
Yeah, yeah, that does enough.
It's just 7.
You see this bird also kind of like go pop in like a storm of feathers and blood.
Hmm.
Cool. Is that it for your turn? And then like when
I
it's the
think so.
skeleton's
Nothing
turn,
really much to do.
yeah, when the skeleton's turn, you can just tell it what to do and it'll do that. Cool.
Right. Okay.
All right. So this one is going to. Just let me double check the range on this. Yeah, cool. So it's gonna fly up to you, and it's going to attempt to drain you of blood. And it does
Oh.
miss. So fortunately, you don't deal with that. Cool. Then you see this bird fly out of seemingly nowhere. It comes out from out of your vision. It goes there and attempts to attack the Minotaur. Actually, yeah, well, it'll do it, but we'll see. Yeah, it misses also. And then this bird is going to take flight and go here. Sorry, here. And that is its turn. Your other skeleton over here only has an action and a bonus action left. Because of
An action and a bonus action.
Yeah,
okay.
so you can move the action down to a movement if that's what you would like to do. But that's what you have available to you.
I'll actually just keep that skeleton where it is, and
Okay.
I'm just gonna turn to Sylas and be like, I think this one's a little weaker than the other one.
Silas just kind of looks at you and says, maybe it's the person controlling him doesn't have full control. I don't know.
Whoa, hey now.
And he kind of laughs as he says that to you. You know he's joking as he says that. Cool. All right. So you got this one up at top. It's his turn.
Okay, I'm just gonna have this one swing right at the one right next to it with
Sure.
its great axe.
Yeah. That is a miss.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. That's good. Anything else?
And this one doesn't get a second chance at.
It does not have multi-attack now. You can see on the character sheet.
Okay.
But if it does hit, it's a lot of damage, as you saw.
Okay. I'm actually gonna have. Is that bird close enough for an attack of opportunity if I move?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like it's
Okay.
it's a small creature, and this is a big boy, so. I mean,
It's okay. I'll have it just sit there.
Okay. Cool. All right. Your turn now.
Cool.
And this one's at like your level.
use-
Like you could just smack it out of the air.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna swing at it with my regular longsword.
Cool. Let's see it.
Nothing special.
Yeah, it's a hit. Yeah, you pop this bird. It you cut cleanly through it, and it just splits in half.
Nice. And then I can't attack again, right?
You can move and attack again.
I can move and attack again?
Because you did your first part of your action. You can break that up and then move. Don't you have like your special thing too, where you can like move and attack again if you kill something?
It's only if I. It's only if I use Great Weapon Master.
Oh, I mean, you still have your movement and you still have the second attack as part of your multi-attack that you can do.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I thought the extra attack was only like if you attack one enemy and you miss the first time, you can attack a second time.
No, you can attack twice, and if you kill something on the first one, you have still your movement. So think about like if you're like watching like a kung fu movie or something, right? Like they punch, the guy flies, they move and punch again in the same kind of like instance of time.
Okay, sounds good. Then I am gonna move up to this bird.
Okay, so
And
I need you to make a perception check for me as you do that.
yikes, am I gonna get in trouble? Oh fuck me.
Okay, you don't see what's about to happen, but that's okay. Yeah, go ahead and swing on that
Okay,
bird.
well, I'm just gonna swing on the bird.
Yeah.
Oops. Let me make sure I use the right one. Is that a hit?
That's a miss. You swung and missed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's a 12,
Damn.
buddy. Come on now. It's not that good.
Burns are quick.
I guess so, yeah. You did anything else with your bonus action?
Yeah, I will. Actually, nah. Nah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna do anything.
All right. So the one next to you is going to attempt to attack you. 12 misses, fortunately. The other one's going to try to attack your Minotaur skeleton. That also misses. Excellent. Skeleton's turn up at the top. Your Minotaur skeleton's turn up at the top.
Okay, and just so I know the movement for this, when it moves like 1 square down, that still counts as 5 feet. It's not
Correct.
like the whole image that's on the thing.
Yep. Okay. It occupies. So the way that you should think about it is like 5 feet is your area of influence. So like their area of influence is 10 feet radius. They don't actually occupy all 10 feet, but that's like their wingspan and all that jazz.
Okay. I'm gonna tell this guy, the skeleton, to charge at the bird in front of.
In front of you? You cut out there a little bit.
Yeah.
So go ahead and move it.
Yeah, in front of me.
Yeah, go ahead and move it.
So it's probably gonna end up something like that.
Okay.
And oh, this is. I just used my gore attack. So does the charge just count as a movement?
So the way that charge works is like he would have had to come from like this side or this side to run at it and hit it directly, because he's like coming from here and then like hitting it from the side.
He would have come at an angle, so he would have gone like kind of diagonally southeast and then.
Oh, like you're saying, like he would have gone to here and then moved over here.
Right.
Okay, if he hasn't moved that, yeah. So he has to make he has to then hit it.
Okay, so then it would use gore, and then only if it hits does it. Okay.
Yeah, it does the extra damage. Yeah. That's a miss. And so what happens is like you see your giant Minotaur skeleton kind of like do a diagonal movement that you kind of explain it to, and you hear Clyde and Sylas both like whistle like that was like a nice like kind of movement you just did, and then they see it like kind of go real ham on this small bird with its horns. And you see the bird just kind of like deftly just like kind of float up, and it misses it. And then you just hear like a head smack. After that, and as this is occurring, with your awful perception check, you notice this boy pop out from the water. It's a big skeleton. It's a big crocodile boy.
Holy fuck.
And you see no motion from Clyde or Sylas to come help you. They still think this is like easy peasy for you. Like this should be simple. And the crocodile is now going to attempt to attack you because you have disturbed its breath. You've disturbed its slumber. Okay, so where's the attack going? Whew. That's a critical 24, good sir. So that is 7 damage.
Okay.
And you are now grappled. Its mouth is like chomped onto your leg, and he has you in his mouth. And so you'll have to do a DC 12 either acrobatics or athletics check to get out of it. Otherwise, you are not able to move, and it will get pretty much free attacks to like kind of keep chomping on you. Sort of deal, because it'll have advantage to chomp you.
Right. Okay.
Cool. All right. Your skeleton up north of you is its turn.
I'm just gonna have the skeleton swing at the little birdie.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and try.
And hopefully finish it off.
Sure. It's been dodging and weaving. It hasn't hit you guys yet, but it's been dodging and weaving. That's another dodge and weave.
Fucking Christ.
It's like it's not.
These skeletons are useless.
You don't see any comment from either of them as they just continue to passively watch. It is your turn. You are in the jaws of the crocodile, so you can use your full action to break free of the crocodile, or you can just attack it twice and try to kill it.
Or I can do an athletics check to see if I can move away, right?
That's your action, is what I'm saying. All right, so it's gonna be an air action to break free of its grip on you,
Okay.
or you can just attack it twice and maybe kill it.
Shit. Okay, I will choose to attack it.
Okay.
And I will swing it with my longsword, but I'm also going to use my great weapon master.
Okay.
And by the way, this counts as a fiend, right? And I think I do extra damage to fiends.
It's a crocodile. It's a beast.
So, okay.
Why would that be a fiend? What would crocodile be a fiend?
I don't know. I don't know the definition of a fiend, obviously.
Fiends like more. Think more like demonic.
Okay. Where is it? Longsword. Where are you? Okay.
Yeah, that's a hit.
And
You're gonna smite with that?
I'll just yeah, I am going to actually use a smite with it.
Okay.
Because I'm just pissed that this thing is grappling me and I look like a piece of shit in front of Sylas and Clyde.
Yeah. And the forehead smack definitely kind of like kills it for you too. Like you can feel like the audible like sigh from both of them.
Yeah. We expected more from you.
Yeah. So you with this rage and anger kind of like filling you up, your sword glows gray, as you come to expect when you're using a smite, and you lop this crocodile's head off, and its jaw goes slack and it's no longer attached to you.
Nice. I kind of just pick myself up and dust myself off, if you can, kind of in a marsh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's a little muddy, a little wet, but yeah, you kind of you look at your leg and it doesn't look too bad. You got that paladin resistance going for you, so you don't feel like it's going to get rotted or anything like that with the thing out that you got in this marsh.
Yeah, and kind of as I'm doing that, I'm just kind of nonchalantly, I'm gonna swing at the bird as well.
Okay.
And I will not use great weapon master here.
Okay. That's a miss.
Oh.
The 9 is a miss.
I don't know why I did a great weapon master still. That's weird. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so you missed with the 9. Cool. You do anything else?
Nah, I think that's it.
Okay. This bird is right below you. It's going to try to attack you again, as it has been this entire time. 10 is going to miss. Valley, the thing's never going to touch you. The other one is going to try to attack your skeleton. They're in a deadlock over here. The bird kind of like tries to like hit into the skeleton, but he kind of like fends it back off with like his head. Like he's like using his head to like kind of like keep the stinger away from him. And as he goes to like smack the bird with his axe, the bird's just like la la la, and like kind of like flies just out of reach. It's just a constant kind of struggle for that. All right, it's the other skeleton's turn.
All right, these skeletons are useless. I'm gonna have it try to swing one more time.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So at this point, you guys just hear Sylas, or you hear Clyde and Sylas just go, This is supposed to be a very simple task. Do you need some more time to like get these guys on your side? Like, do we need to step in here? Are you good?
I think your skeletons, I don't know.
It's definitely not their fault.
They're not working for me.
If you want me, I can take control of them. I assure you it'll work.
I mean, here, go ahead. You show me.
Okay. So Sylas kind of steps up to play and just says, hey, he kind of speaks some words that you don't hear. He kind of under his breath, and this minotaur up at the top is going to.
These have to be public rolls, by the way. I want to see them.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to. Yeah, that would be lame if I did a private roll for that. Great axe, public. That is a miss. And then you kind of see.
See what I tell you.
You see Sylas go, huh? Interesting.
We need to destroy these ones and create new ones. It's not working out.
I'll think about that. We'll see. These are the ones that we've got for right now, so we'll work with them for a little bit. Now it's your turn.
I'm just gonna swing at the one in front of me.
Sure. The fact that this is what's taking you like the longest in combat is astounding. Yeah, that hits. Like
Yeah,
the small little birds are the ones that are like causing you the most grief. Yeah, that's a dead bird. You slice that bird in half.
So, all right, let's see what you can do with these skeletons because it's not working out so far.
Can you not move to hit the other one?
Oh, I guess I can. I will. Well, I'm not going to because I kind of want Sylas to prove that he can use the skeletons to their ability.
Okay, that's fine.
I want to take the chance to be able to chuckle and not feel so bad about myself.
Sure, that's fine. This one's locked in combat with the one above. That one actually hits. And so what you see is this kind of like pincer kind of go into the Minotaur, and like it just kind of goes into its body looking for any kind of flesh, and it finds some, and then as you see it try to like start to suck to like do the damage, you see it just do nothing because it's a skeleton and it's trying to drain its blood, and there's no blood available in the skeleton.
Nice.
And it just looks very confused. This boy, and so I was like, you want me to do it with this one too?
Yeah, be my guest.
Okay. So this one goes here. It's 5, 10, 15, and then he just kind of, I guess he'd go like this. He'd go around because he can't go through that tree. Go here, and then he would try to just attack again with the great axe, I believe. Yeah, just a great axe would be easier. This one hits and clefts the sturge in two, and the sturge dies.
Hmm.
And he's like,
I guess they do work.
He's like, well, we'll call that a fluke and try again in the future. And he kind of gives you back control of the Minotaur skeletons.
Cool.
And so Clyde and kind of Sylas kind of like walk up after this, kind of watching this interaction, and you see Clyde say, okay, I see you got bit by the crocodile. So in these like kind of swamps, they have obviously, as you can see, crocodiles. That's one of the major, I guess you could call them, creatures of the swamp. And as he kind of like points you to this like darker patch over here of swamp, and he's like, it's tough to see, but there are deep portions of the swamp that if you take a step into, you could fall in and submerge yourself fully and have to swim out to get out of there. So you have to be a little careful as you kind of walk around in these marshes and kind of keep your wits about you. And as you're controlling these skeletons, you must also keep them from falling in the pits as well. So
these skeletons are massive.
yes, that's why I will lead. You can come up behind me. We'll have Sylas go behind you, and then we'll have the skeletons just kind of follow single file line from there to make sure they don't fall into anything because we didn't see something, if that makes sense. So they will tread where we tread, sort of deal. And so kind of they do this, and you just see kind of Sylas snap his fingers, and the Minotaur skeletons kind of fall in behind. And they say, well, let's kind of get this crocodile out of the way. And you just see Clyde just grab the tail of the crocodile as he like moves it towards this pond and just tosses it in there with ease. And you see the crocodile just disappear from view. And he's like, see, very deep. We don't wouldn't want to fall in that. I'm just gonna get rid of these off your screen to make life easy for us. And he's like, well, if you'll follow me, I'm sure there will be more interesting things in this marsh that we'll have to combat. So as you guys are kind of like rolling through, you can go ahead and move the skeletons kind of like as you want them to, because they're under your control again. Sylas just kind of snapped them to kind of just get them to follow him. It's like a very standard command that he has for them, it seems.
Okay. Let me see if I can drag and click.
Yeah, you should be able to move both of them.
It's just one.
If you shift click also, that works.
Oh, the shift to click. I drag control.
Clyde and Clyde just kind of moves forward, and he has just kind of Sylas bring up the rear behind him. You're in the middle somewhere. You can be like on either side, like if you want to be like up in the front with him, or like on the side here, or you can just be immediately behind him. It's up to you. They don't really seem to mind.
Just be behind him.
Okay, that's fine. So you can see, yeah. So as you kind of get here, Clyde kind of says, "All right, stop." So go back. He says, "Okay, so there's a couple things happening here," and as he's kind of talking to you, you see, maybe I don't know if your vision will see it, but you see a couple things kind of pop out, and he goes, yes. So there are a couple of opponents in front of us that are dangerous in swamps, so I will give you a quick little tutorial. The small glowing things down here, let me make sure you can actually see them before I continue, because you can kind of see, you should be able to see them.
Yeah, little white things.
Yeah, these small little light things over here, they are called will-o-wisps. Very tricky creatures. They will attempt to attack you and then lead you to your death, either via drowning or another creature. Pretty much immediately to our right, there's depth. There's a dark pit over here, which is kind of difficult to see. And then more forward from here in this area, and it seems over here there's another pit, and then straight ahead, very far away, there seems to be another pit somewhere in this general area direction over here. So just be aware, be careful. They will attempt to lure you to having a ranged caster or someone who can use ranged abilities are arguably the best way to handle these, as he I guess he says so. I would like to see how you handle these opponents and see what I can teach you about tapping into your inner abilities as a paladin.
I don't have very many ranged abilities, so.
Yeah, so you say that, and he's like, Then I will assist you. I will assist you with some ranged attacks, and you will don't use the skeletons here because they may lumber into a death pit as they kind of clamber forward to attack these wolves. So we'll do the two of us, huh? The two of us will take on these
You
wolves.
could always make. Yeah, Sylas can always make new ones, right? You can always make new ones.
Yes, but we do require the bones. It's not we don't make them out of thin air, unfortunately. That would be something. Let me tell you. And Sylas just kind of looks at you. He's like, "Yeah, man. Like, if I could make bones out of nothing, like, necromancers would be the strongest wizards of all time." You know, like
I gotta figure out a way to take it out of your own arm and regenerate your own bone.
That's, I have Garfield and I talked about that. We're not quite sure what we want to do with that yet, but that is a thought we have tossed around. Garfield is an awesome man. And as he says that, you just see Clyde kind of flick his wrist, or sorry, Sylas flick his wrist, and he casts Toll the Dead, casts a spell onto the what? Oh, I love how this spell hates me. I forgot. Toll the Dead is just the worst thing ever. Cool. 1 second. He casts a spell. and you see you hear some bells kind of ring the air. They sound like dark and ominous, and he attempts to attack the wisp over here. Like I said, I should open up there that character sheet. Wisdom fails. So it takes 7 damage. And he says, okay. So you see this one over here, and he kind of points over here. This one over here is taking damage. So now you can try to attack it and hurt it and kill it, hopefully. Just note, you do have to use magical weapons to attack that if you're not using a magical spell.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let me see. How far am I?
Yeah, go ahead and roll initiative for me. I'll get that. I'm just giving you a sneak around on them because they weren't paying attention. Sylas isn't going to be attacking again. It was just kind of like a demonstration thing that he was doing. Cool. Clyde will be assisting you. So he will roll. Okay. And I'll have the Will-O-Wisp just go as like one group. Okay, cool. Alright, so Clyde then kind of just steps forward, and you see a blast of like gray darkness, it seems, kind of go out as he attacks this wisp. He hits, and he deals 8 damage to it. And it's not looking good anymore. Like the light of this wisp is like kind of fading as he does, and he says, "Ha! See, that was a new ability I have conjured through some work with Bane. That is not paladin related anymore. We'll say that." And then the Will-O-Wisps will go. Let's check. 58 feet. So they come up to here, and they attempt to attack Clyde, and they hit. Wow. You see this wisp kind of like float through, and you see a like kind of lightning bolt as it touches it touches Clyde's elbow, and you just see you hear like a crackle, and he takes some points of damage from it. And he's like, You know, it's not too often that I get hit by something, let me tell you. And then this one's gonna move. It's gonna go here. Also try to hurt this man. That one misses. And as you see, this one, he brings his shield up and kind of like smacks it. Its lightning just kind of arcs over his head. Now it's your turn.
Cool. Remind me just real quick, out of character, these green patches, can I walk over them?
Yeah, that's like grass. So like the other areas are like dark, like swampy materials, and then you see like patches of like grass and like, you know, like moss and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like fucking poison gas coming out of nowhere. Okay.
That would have been funny if I hadn't told you that, and you said, like, "Oh nope, got you, now you're knocked down."
Awful.
That would have been hilarious. Like that's awful DMing right there. It's awful DMing. Yeah, it's grass.
Okay, cool. I will walk up to the wisp and attack it with my little Avenger.
Okay.
Which. Okay.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah, so you do 11 slashing damage. Nice. It looks pretty rough now. Like the same amount of light that left the one over here seems to also have left the one that's on that you just struck. And you can attack again. That's a miss. So as it kind of
Wow.
recognizes you slashing through, it like kind of deftly like kind of just it hovers out of your strike. Um, yeah, cool. Clyde's going to go next. You see a sword appear in his hand, seemingly out of nowhere, and he goes to smack this will-o-wisp out of the air. He also misses. He's going to try again, and he hits the second time. So he swings, realizes he went a little low on this one as the wisp kind of dodges up, and then in the same motion he brings the sword striking up straight through it, and he gets a good amount of damage into it, but it's still, the light fades again. What seems like it's dimmed significantly at this point. At that point, this will-o-wisp will try to move here and then try to go this way, and while doing that takes an opportunity attack that hits from Clyde, and he extinguishes this will-o-wisp as it just kind of fades out of existence.
Goodbye.
And he looks at you and he says, "See, you get hit once. That's all that needs to happen. Just the one time. I believe in you." And it's now your turn. Oh, sorry. This level was just going to try to attack you. Sorry. I almost let you off easy.
I was like,
yeah. So this one is kind of like swoops in towards your head, and as kind of Clyde talks to you, you kind of duck instinctively as you see it out of the corner of your eye, and then it kind of floats back up. And as it's like kind of floating back, you have your opportunity to take your turn.
Okay. And as I dodge that, I just want to tell Clyde, like, or you can just not get hit at all.
Says the man who got bit by a large crocodile that he couldn't see.
Hey, now that was a blind attack.
Blind if you are blind. I will agree with that. And that's a miss. So
Oh,
you're
my.
a little too preoccupied trying to like keep in your head like Clyde satisfied with you, and it kind of causes you to miss. That one also misses. You're too preoccupied trying to keep your new father's approval, is what it seems.
I'm getting a little sweaty here. My palms are sweating.
A little bit, yeah. Your pop's looking at you with some
Too
concern.
much pressure.
And as Clyde kind of turns toward this other wisp, you notice the sword. Gray tinges are kind of like all around it, and you notice at the bottom of the pommel, it looks like a small little dragon head is on the sword. As he swings upon this will-o-wisp, that's a hit, and he reduces it by the same thing like he did last time. You did, just has gone down significantly, and he would attempt to attack again. That's a crit, and I'm gonna guess this. Yeah, this, and he extinguishes this will-o-wisp.
Very nice.
He says, "Yes, it was quite enjoyable, but we have another issue on our hands." As from the deeps, you see a crocodile kind of mosey on up, and it just kind of looks at you and looks at Clyde, and it just kind of it looks kind of lazy. It doesn't look like it actually wants to attack you. It's just kind of moving up to you to see like what the commotion was. It heard something, so it wanted to figure out what the hell's happening outside. And it's initiative. Oof. It was a 1. I'm gonna give it that. I know I forgot to click the token, but it's a 1. Cool. And it's your turn, Cromwell.
Do I notice that this crocodile seems similar to the last one that I killed?
Yeah, and Clyde just looks at you and says, "Round 2? Maybe you won't get bit this time?"
Say round 2 it is, and I'm gonna walk up to the crocodile. And I will swing at it with everything I got.
Okay. That's a hit.
Oh, that's put a -5 on that because I don't know why my Great Weapon Master didn't go through.
That should be a hit still. Yeah, it's still a hit.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it does it sometimes and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. So you are you smiting it also?
I am. Oh, whoops! I am not smiting it.
Okay.
Did it add the smite?
It did. So I will remove that 15 points of damage from there.
Okay, just 12 plus 5, so 17.
Yeah. So you cut into
Yeah.
it and you get most of it. Like you get a good chunk out of its like out of the top of its nose, but as you feel it try to like cut deeper into its snout, it gets cut. It gets reflected back up. It's not looking good though. It's bleeding like real rough. Like the top of its jaw is like not proper anymore.
All right, can I swing at it again
Yes.
to finish the job?
That's a miss.
God damn it.
Yeah, so at this point, the crocodile is going to attempt to bite you, but with disadvantage because you have fucked up its upper jaw, and that's a miss. As it like weakly tries to like attack you at the same leg, you realize that its jaw just isn't closing the way it should be. Clyde looks at you and says, "Do you need my help?"
Say, no, I got this one.
Okay, and so he just lets you. He's like, "Then have at it."
All right, I'm gonna swing again.
That's it. Yeah, it's done. It's done. So you finish cutting through the portion of the snout that you missed. As it goes through the bottom portion, it's fully bled out at this point.
Nice.
And
Give me some alligator meat.
there you go. And so as this is occurring, the crocodile kind of snarls and kind of cries out, and you hear some movement. Roll a perception check to see if you can tell from where this movement's coming from.
They haven't been good so far.
Well, never know. Really bad.
Oh my gosh, I cannot perceive shit today.
No, you can't. As you're like kind of like celebrating your victory over the crocodile and not getting bit this time, you see some trolls roll up, and we will end it there. Actually, sorry, is this? Yeah, it's not there. Cool. You can see them, right? So check that. Okay, you can only see one. We'll say that they come to like here roughly. And Clyde is just watching from the back, bemused as these two trolls kind of walk up. He says, this will be fun. And that's what
I'm scared.
Yeah, and that's where we will end it for tonight. We'll pick up here next week with your character. Cool.